NASCAR may have secured financial stability through its recent charter settlement, but according to veteran driver and team owner Denny Hamlin, the sport now faces a far bigger challenge: returning to meaningful growth in a rapidly changing sports and entertainment landscape. Speaking in the aftermath of the antitrust settlement involving 23XI Racing, Row Motorsports, and NASCAR, Hamlin made it clear that the agreement was only the beginning of what could be a long rebuilding process for stock car racing's top series. While the settlement provided permanent charters and improved negotiating leverage for teams, Hamlin believes the future of NASCAR depends on something far larger, potentially billions of dollars in investment. And without it, the sport risks remaining stable but stagnant. The settlement between NASCAR and the teams marked one of the most significant business developments in modern NASCAR history. Permanent charters ensure long-term participation security for Cup Series organizations and improve financial predictability. For team owners, it represents protection from the uncertainty that defined previous negotiations with NASCAR leadership. Hamlin, who co-owns 23XI Racing with Michael Jordan, said he has heard appreciation from fellow team owners since the agreement was finalized. But the settlement did not dramatically increase yearly revenues for teams. Instead, it created a more stable foundation for future negotiations and business planning. That distinction matters. The agreement solved structural problems, but not NASCAR's growth problem. It put us on stable ground, Hamlin explained, noting that teams can no longer be pressured into signing agreements under threat of losing charters. For investors and team owners alike, stability matters, but long-term sustainability requires growth, and that is where Hamlin believes NASCAR must act boldly. One of the clearest indicators of NASCAR's current position is television performance. The sport experienced a 14% year-over-year broadcast ratings decline, a number NASCAR largely anticipated due to changes in media distribution, including more races moving to streaming platforms and fewer events airing on traditional broadcast television. Still, the drop reflects a broader truth about NASCAR's place in modern sports media. The sport is no longer in the explosive popularity era it enjoyed in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Instead, NASCAR is navigating a transitional period where digital media, streaming, and younger audiences are reshaping how sports are consumed. Hamlin believes this moment requires aggressive action rather than incremental adjustments. His most striking message was simple: NASCAR needs major investment to unlock its next era. Hamlin pointed to Formula One's transformation after Liberty Media's acquisition as a blueprint for what could be possible in stock car racing. Formula One's surge in global popularity has been fueled by digital storytelling, social media expansion, new sponsorship models, and fan-focused marketing. According to Hamlin, NASCAR needs a similar approach, but on a much larger scale. He suggested that either NASCAR itself or outside investors could play a role in providing the capital needed to modernize promotion, technology, and fan engagement. That investment could include expanded digital media production, major marketing campaigns, enhanced race weekend experiences, technology upgrades, and global audience outreach. Hamlin acknowledged that these efforts might not produce immediate profits, but could create long-term growth. Hamlin also believes NASCAR's current position is the result of decisions made over many years, and that recovery will take just as long. According to him, the sport may need 10 to 15 years to fully return to a growth phase. This didn't happen overnight, he said, describing NASCAR's decline as a slow process influenced by industry changes, media evolution, and past strategic decisions. That timeline mirrors NASCAR's own historical arc. The sport took decades to build its national audience, reached peak popularity in the early 2000s, and has spent much of the past decade adjusting to a new sports media environment. Hamlin's message is not one of panic, but realism. Despite the challenges, Hamlin expressed optimism about NASCAR's current direction. He praised the sport's 2026 marketing strategy, particularly its grittier tone and renewed focus on digital content and fan engagement. NASCAR has also invested heavily in track renovations over the past decade, upgrading major venues to improve the in-person fan experience. In fact, this year, NASCAR is going to have a revamped The Chase format, which might attract new viewers to the sport as well. You can check out our video explaining that in the description. These improvements show NASCAR's commitment to modernization, but Hamlin believes they must be part of a much larger strategy. "We can tread water," he said, "but it's going to take something significant to grow." One of the most important long-term implications of the charter settlement is the increased attractiveness of NASCAR teams to investors. Permanent charters make teams more comparable to franchises in other professional sports leagues, where long-term value growth attracts institutional investment. The new structure allows private equity firms to invest in NASCAR teams, potentially bringing new capital and business expertise into the sport. Hamlin sees this as a major opportunity. Investors evaluating NASCAR teams now have greater confidence in long-term stability and potential returns, especially if the sport successfully grows its audience again. Hamlin emphasized that NASCAR's challenges should not be mistaken for a lack of interest in racing. Across motorsports, audiences remain strong. Formula One, endurance racing, and grassroots racing communities continue to draw fans worldwide. The real question is how NASCAR can capture that interest. There are still plenty of people in this country that are excited about cars and car racing, Hamlin said. Turning that excitement into NASCAR viewership will require creativity, investment, and patience. Hamlin's comments highlight a pivotal moment for NASCAR. The sport is no longer fighting for survival, but it is searching for its next growth phase. The charter settlement created stability. Now the next step is expansion. And according to one of NASCAR's most influential drivers and team owners, that expansion will require bold thinking, long-term investment, and a willingness to evolve with the modern sports landscape. The foundation may be secure, but the future of NASCAR could depend on what happens next. For now, the engines keep running, the teams keep racing, and the business side of the sport prepares for what could be the most important decade NASCAR has faced in a generation. Let's say NASCAR does get that kind of investment. Where should it go first? Marketing, new fans, technology, or the race experience itself? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more NASCAR news, analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories from the sport, make sure to subscribe to NASCAR Central and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.